What up, guys? It's Dr. Vic, and you are listening to The Mindful Experiment. Excited to have you here. As each week, every Tuesday or Wednesday, you hear from me sharing a concept, a tip, something that I grasp through my meditation or through a coaching client, something I'm hearing a lot of or been giving consistent advice on that I think you may benefit from the community. So this week, I have a cool one that I want to share. It was actually something in a meditation I got that I was like, And I've had this discussion before on other podcasts with being interviewed and then also interviewing some people on my podcast. But one of the things I've learned that in life, you hear a lot in personal development over the years, in self-help and so forth, always talking about be the lion, right? And they talk about you got the lion, you want to be a lion, not like a gazelle, and all these different things. And which is all great. I have nothing against it. It inspired me to think that way too. But as I started looking and studying the lion, there are there's great characteristics to a lion. Each animal has their own, their own essence to them. Like a jaguar versus a lion versus a bear. In Native American times, they used to appreciate the lion for the energy or the strength or the courage. So like a jaguar has a lot of power into it. We all have what we call like a spiritual animal that like works with us to give us current characteristics. I know this may seem out there for some people, but there's aspects to that. You can channel into an animal to take the energy of what you may need at that time. And a lot of times lions come off as being courageous, an aspect of strength. Okay. Now, but what I wanted to talk about is looking at the lion. One of the things I learned about lions is that they're one of the laziest animals in the animal kingdom, but they're on the top of the chain, right? Besides us. And when you look at that, that's fascinating. They're one of the laziest. They sleep 20 to 24 hours a day. Not bad, right? But when I looked at that, I was like, okay, they sleep 20 to 24 hours a day. They're on top of the food chain. So then how does this work? So I started to look at different attributes. And what I learned about them is lions are laser focused. That's what it is to be a lion. To be laser focused. I mean, hyper focused and only on that one thing. And they're phenomenal at that. And that's why I truly believe they're at the top. And the reason why is if you look at like an animal like a jaguar, if you study a jaguar doesn't know when it's enough. It doesn't know when it's going to be satisfied. A lot of us as humans, I think, are like that. We always want more, right? We're always looking to get more and achieve more and go to higher levels and so forth. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that to a certain degree. I still want to grow and expand and evolve. There's certain levels I want to get to. When I get there, we'll see where life takes me. But I think there's a certain point that you hit a certain level where like all needs are being met. What else do you need? Some people love the Lamborghinis and the Bentleys and the mansions and the huge estates and all this stuff. So people love that. And that's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. Like those are what we call different value systems. I have a different value system. I could give a flying F about a Lamborghini. I think they're a car that's just a waste of money, in my opinion, because when you look at it for 3, 4, 500,000, yeah, it goes from 0 to 60 in like 2.7 seconds. I could go spend 80,000 on a Tesla and I could do the same thing. But when you look, see, this is where my mind comes from. I like cars. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big truck guy, but I do like cars. But it's not a value to me, right? There's other values to me, though. I like to have a nice house. I don't have to have a big house, just want a nice house. There's different values to each individual. And I think that's what dictates our buying and what we focus on. But the key factor is being laser focused, knowing when it's enough. And lions know this, right? Every day when they get up, they have one thing in mind. Where's my meal coming from? How do I fill this belly of mine? Once it fills the belly, it's done for the day. Once it gets that gazelle, it is done. It's not going to look for another, right? These shiny lures in life. It's not looking to see what's the next thing I can get. How can I get more? It's saying, hey, I'm fulfilled. I'm satisfied. My needs are met. I'm good for the day. I'll wait till the next day. And I think in life, we can learn a lot from the lion. So, and this is why I titled this episode, Be the Lion, because it's one of the things in life we have to be hyper laser focused. This is a mindset trick, a neural hack, whatever you want to call it. This is a trick to life. If you're laser focused, the more focused you are on something, the more you're creating life to it and the more you're going to experience what it is you want to achieve. So when you know what your reality is and you're crystal clear, you don't let the nonsense and the BS and the distractions of life get to you, you will achieve what you get. I have a formula I'm going to patent because it's one of the things I've created over time. As I keep talking about this, if you've been listening to podcasts since the beginning, you know how powerful I am about focus. If you take my online courses or you do personal coaching with me, you know the essence of focus already. But focus is what creates your life. And so if you're not achieving what you want, it's because you have a lack of focus in that and you're letting distractions get into the way. These are spiritual laws. This is not just an essence. Spiritual laws focus on these things wherever you're putting your energy to, wherever attention goes, energy flows. Wherever energy flows, manifestation grows. And so that you start to create more of that reality. But it all starts with focus, which gives attention. Okay? Your essence, your soul is what is life. We are life. Okay. And we give life to this body. It's an intelligence that lets the body run. The magnificent miracle of what the body is that intelligence within us. And so when we start to focus, we give that intelligence, that life to something to allow to expand and grow. Okay. And that is the key to focus. And that's what a lion is. So be the freaking lion in your life. Don't let these distractions of life get to you. It has been so much easier to be distracted in this last year because of COVID and everything else going on that we let all these things noise up and jam up the brain, and we don't allow to fulfill and let our creativity flow. We minimize instead of expand. And this is why I've said this many times before. I told you guys I work with one-on-one coaching clients, and I could tell you through the COVID process, majority of all my clients thrived during COVID. I've had clients who switched careers and they're doing well, where they've sustained themselves with an income, and now they're building their income and their dynasty. They're creating their path of what they want to create, and they're living on their terms. So I'm not that coach. So if you're looking for coaching, definitely let's reach out, let's connect. But I tell you right now, I'm not that coach who's going to be like, hey, I'm going to help you get to the million and 2 million and 3 million, unless that's what you want. My job is to give you the freedom of what you want to create and make that a reality, put that into plan, and then fulfill your life in the full spectrum of it so that you can thrive to the highest level. That's what I do for my clients. And so if that sounds like something that you want to chat about, hey, right now I'm going to be opening up some spots to do coaching and to open the door for that. So check that out, and I'll have it in the show notes. But this is something that we need to learn. If we really want to grasp our reality and really make it powerful, we have to get laser focused on what we do. Focus on that. Be the lion. Think of the lion. Think of it. It only goes out. What does it want? Let me feed my stomach. I'm good for the day. I'm going to chill with my family afterwards. I'm going to enjoy the sun. I'm going to take naps. I'm going to lay around. I'm not going to do much. I'm going to spend time with my partner if they have that. And that's it, right? And that's how life should be, in a sense. I don't like using the word should because everyone has different values of what's important to them. For me, it's not just growing a business and making a ton of money and having all that. It's also what I want to, the success I have in my business is the success I want in my marriage, in my relationships with my family and friends. It's also the success I want to have in my finances. It's also the success I want to have with my health. And it's also the success I want to have with my mindset and so forth. And so being the lion is one of the most crucial things that I can share with you guys today. But I'm going to take it one step further. Okay. We talked about being laser focused. We talk about knowing when you're going to be satisfied and so forth. If you were going to die today, what would you people be saying about you? If you were going to die today, what you see yourself and how you want others to see you, would it happen? Are you living the life that you want to achieve? Are you living the essence of how you want to breathe? Are you living the purpose and sharing that to the world? Because if you're not, then then you have time to change. Because if you're not, you've been distracted and you're not laser focused. And so this is one of the little hacks I teach in my online class and I help with my clients is what's the end in mind, and let's make that the main focus and goal. And then how do we lead to do everything we follow that path to really get to success? Because I've learned over time in my own personal process that when I am focused on my vision and I am focused on where I want to go end in mind, all the things I choose now are a lot easier. I don't get distracted as much because if it doesn't fit the vision, not doing it. Simple as that. Or, wow, if this is happening, that's okay. I'm still focused on the vision. If I have those low months or those down times, which happen every year, everybody goes through it. What happens is that it helps me stay focused on the vision. Hey, this is just part of the process. It's like a stock. If you look at stocks over a long period of time, they do really well. If you look at stocks in the short term, you're not going to like it. It's ups and downs, sometimes more downs than ups. At the end of the day, just focus on the long-term vision. And that's where that key, I just want to share with you guys, that piece of information will help you in business, your relationships. Won't get you hung up in the short-term stuff. It helps you in finances like crazy. It helps with your health and everything else. And that you don't get so hung up in the short term and you really thrive in the long term. And that's what I've taken that principle, because that's what I do as a chiropractor, is teach people how to create long-term benefits to maximize their health. And that's what I work with. That's all I work with in my office. I'm a pediatric family wellness chiropractor, but in my office, I have a very specific way of working with people. I want people who come into my office that are looking not for a short-term fix. I don't want those types of patients. I'll help them if they need it, but I'm also going to teach them long-term effects. I want to help people in the long term, because that's where the true transformation is. That's where we maximize someone's life. Like literally out of the blue, I had a patient stop me when I was doing x-rays. I was in my x-ray room, marking up x-rays and doing it and taking my notes down for it. And he's like, "Hey doc, can I talk to you really quick?" And I was like, it's usually never a good conversation. And so I'm like, "Hey, what's going on? How can I help?" And he's like, he looks at me. This is a guy who I would never expect this from. And he looks me in the eye and he says, "I literally want to thank you." I said, For what? He's like, "I'm 50-something years old and I never felt better. And, I was skeptical of everything you were saying. I don't understand the scans you do still to this day. I have a basic of it, but I don't understand it to that deep level." He's like, "But I was a skeptic. I didn't believe anything of what you were saying." He goes, and it wasn't a quick fix. You told me it wasn't going to be a quick fix." He's like, "But I've never felt better. I don't know when's the last time I have. And I feel really good in my life." He's like, "I appreciate all that you've been doing. Thank you so much for the work and the consistent education and the consistent thing." He goes, "I'm going to be here for life. And I just want to thank you." And it's one of those things where, because I said, "How long do you want to keep feeling like this?" He goes, "I want this forever." I said, "Deal. Let's keep working together then." And so it's long-term success, because that not only transformed his life, he can cycle again. He wakes up not with the stresses and issues that he was having. Mentally, he's a lot better. He's not as stressed. His work, his family life, everything, everyone's noticing a shift. And that's because it's long-term effects. That's the vision I had in my chiropractic office, and I continue to have. That is also the vision of what I have when I work with clients. It's not a short-term fix. This is long-term. How do we build upon building with a relationship with you to help you maximize, grow, and evolve, to take things to that level? So be the lion, if I can share with you again. And if you have any questions, if you're curious to know if you're interested in coaching and looking at, "Hey doc, how can we team up here?" I do free calls, 15 minutes. I'm offering that right now. So check it in the show notes. You DM me or message me, and I'll be more than happy to connect with you. And we'll talk for 15 minutes. Promise you'll get some value out of it. And then we can see if we're the right fit, because again, we have to be the right fit for you and for me. So that way we know we're going to really thrive and grow in this partnership and coaching. So anywho, that's what I got for you guys today. If it's the first time you're listening to this podcast, please subscribe. Don't miss another episode. We share 2 a week. Tuesdays and Wednesdays roughly is when I release this one with me. And then every Friday we're releasing our interviews, and we got some great people coming up. Guys, we are booked up until November right now. And we'll be finishing up at the end of July. We'll be all up until January. And a lot of great speakers coming in and interviewing people with some good stuff. And I'm really starting to get more selective on who I want on the podcast to really help elevate the information that we're sharing here. So thank you so much. If you found this to be inspirational, pay it forward by sharing with someone that you may know could benefit. And as always, I thank you guys. This is Dr. Vic with the Mindful Experiment. And until next week, keep rocking and rolling.